right, what's going on, everybody? Happy late Thursday. It's 10:56 p.m. here in California. Just hanging out for a little bit. A little ice water. It's been a while since I've used this headlamp. And I was using it yesterday, but it stopped working. It's not it's not taking charge. So I'm gonna see if I can open it up and figure it out. Also got some parts in for the 2511, and that'll basically complete the um, the parts that I needed to get the 2511T back up, reassembled and running. So this is going to be the worm gear, and this is going to be the sprocket, because I'm going to be running the quarter pitch conversion. That's for my personal 2511T. I actually don't think I'm going to have anything skinny enough to get that open. Nope. Well, I might not be able to get the headlamp open. It's a really cool headlamp. It's just some Chinese headlamp. It ain't no name brand. I mean, it obviously it has a brand name, but it's not no like Coastland or Nebo or anything fancy. So I need to just find a smaller screwdriver, get those screws out, see if I can pop this off. And it is rechargeable, but it stopped taking charge yesterday, so maybe if it has batteries inside of it or something, maybe they just need replacing, because it was dead for a very long time. Who knows? Dang, it actually looks like we have some people joining in. Hello to everybody. Good evening. To some, it may be morning, but here in California, it is now 11 p.m. We got Diana TBH, to be honest, is asking what are you working on? So I'm not really working on anything right now. I just wanted to come outside, get some fresh air, clear the mind a little bit, uh, see who else is around. It was kind of a weird day today, but hopefully tomorrow I will be working on my personal 2511T. For those of you that don't know, it's an Echo CS 2511T. Mine is the TN version, so running the Mini 325 pitch, but I'm going to be running a quarter pitch conversion on it, or quarter pitch. So got some parts in for it that I needed to get the build going. So this is the worm gear. OEM, and then this is the quarter pitch sprocket. And I'm basically just hanging out for a little bit. Just like I said, wanted to get out of the house. It's nice and cool. Clear the mind a little bit. I haven't been out to the shop until now today, but yeah. We got DB Cooper in the house, and Dustin says, "What do you call someone who refuses to fart in public?" A private tutor. Dustin, I like that one. I appreciate the positivity and the humor. Like I was just saying, today was kind of a weird day for me. It was productive, not so much in the shop. I haven't been out into the shop until now, but so I appreciate that. And like I said, got the last couple parts that I needed for the 2511T project. Everything else is over here. So housing, this is what you would call a clamshell design. And I have everything else. I was kind of planning on opening up this headlamp and see why it stopped taking charge. Haven't had it that long. A customer of ours gave it to me, and it's really cool. Gonna just be going through some stuff, like I said, like I keep saying. Just wanted to come out and distract the mind a little bit. Um, I've been kind of not too much in my head, but you guys know how it is. Some days are better than others. Every day's a good day, but I just wanted to come out and mess around for a little bit. Maybe be out here for an hour. I have so much stuff that I tend to lose track of what I have. Like, for instance, here is a spare 2511T crankcase, crankshaft, piston, and of course, top end bearing, or low, the bearing and all that, seals, and everything else. Connecting rod. It's still good. The only thing is, this was a customer of mine, but I accidentally damaged the threads here on this side of the crankshaft, so I ended up using my assembly. But I might be able to clean those up. I just got to figure out what pitch thread it is. I already know it's metric. I just have to figure out what size. Probably an M12 or an M13. Could be a one pitch or a 1.25. Yo, we got Grant in the house. My friend, good to see you. Says, internet is bad on your end. I was hoping not. I was hoping that we would have some good connection. I'm on Wi-Fi right now, so I apologize if it is really bad. We just got a Wi-Fi booster here at the house. Um, it has been seeming to help, but it doesn't seem like it's helping right now. So, either way, Grant, good to see you, man. Glad you can make it to one of the live streams. I haven't been doing them as often as I planned, but that is one of the reasons why. Connection. Let's see, maybe I can turn off Wi-Fi. Let's see. Wi-Fi, so hopefully the connection gets a little better. So yeah, just gonna be going through some stuff. It seems like I'm always going through stuff, but I just have a lot of stuff that I just kind of pile up and forget about. But really need to stay better at or get better at keeping track of what I have, which I don't really get out there too much. 2511T crankcase, crankshaft, piston, the whole bottom end assembly. Grant says, "Hey man, I can't stay. I gotta go to bed. It's 2 a.m. here." I know you probably got school tomorrow. Hopefully everything is going good in school. Hopefully everything's been well and good with you and your family. Appreciate you for still taking the time when you can to stop by and at least say hello. You're much appreciated. And, maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Who knows? But yeah, it's 11 p.m. my time. So yeah, you're 2 hours ahead. So, but much love to you, Grant. And everybody else that's here hanging out. Night owls. So this is this was from a customer build. Just got to fix those threads. I know it is metric. Maybe, like I said, maybe an M12. Try to figure out what pitch it is. It is a coarse thread. So I kind of mushroomed this end of the crankshaft. So that's why I ended up using my crankshaft out of my 2511T. It was brand new, but along the way, I got this donor 2511T. And basically paid a few bucks for it and some work for it. Big bug. Looks like a cockroach. We have a clean house here, but these lights are so bright, dude, that it brings out all kinds of stuff. Grasshoppers, crickets. Mainly the crickets. At least the spiders are not around in here. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Bust out the Coast flashlight. We got Ray Cooper in the house. Says hello from UK. Ray, much glad you can make it to a live stream. It's a little late here in California. Grant says, seems like every time you go live, I'm either doing. I know, right? That's kind of what that is true. And Grant also says, yeah, all is good, thanks. I'm glad to hear that, my friend. I'm glad to hear that. All right, Grant. Have a good night, man. Hope you sleep well. We'll hopefully catch you on the next one. Ray says it's 7:10 a.m. here in the UK. A whole day ahead. Okay, here it goes. Oh, man. That's a big one. Pretty sure that's a roach. Cockroach. Or a cricket. No, that looks like a cockroach to me. Look, there's a little something over there. Nasty. it doesn't like the bright lights. Most of you already know, but I upgraded the lighting here in the shop. I'm pushing this one right here is 150 watt, I believe, 2060 lumens. And then these up here are, oh, I think they're 400 watt bulbs, each pushing like a little over 4,000 lumens. Or maybe they're 300 watters. I don't know, but they're freaking bright. Basically a light box in here. And some of the night critters do not like this bright light. Ray says, creepy crawly in the shop. Yeah, that creepy crawly is not welcomed. I've had crickets fly in. As soon as I turn on the lights, they're like attracted to the light or something. Those are okay. I do have some spiders in here. It's an old garage, all made out of wood. It looks like redwood. It was pretty abandoned for a long time, but when I set it up, when I got set up in here, I cleaned everything, swept, and I haven't seen any crazy spiders. Although a few days ago, right outside my window, there's a really big, according to my phone, it was a barn spider, really big, creepy looking thing. So anyways, let's check out what we have here. I already know this is going to be the worm gear, so I could run the quarter pitch sprocket. This is for my 2511T. This is an OEM. So this is the worm gear that comes on the 2511T, which runs the mini 3/8 pitch, and then this is my original worm gear that I modified to run quarter pitch sprocket, which is aftermarket because Echo doesn't currently offer a quarter pitch sprocket. It's either the 3/8 low pro or mini 3/8 and the mini 325 pitch, but I kind of modified this one to be able to run it. But even though this does work, I'd much rather just run this one and have this one as a backup. So worm gear, and this next one is the sprocket. And again, this is an aftermarket sprocket. There's a couple of options out there. This is the one made by Aussie, or Aussie Archer, or Archer. Very good quality, perfect fitment, straight, just direct swap. Now I'm paranoid that another one of those creepy crawlies is gonna come out, like crawl on my foot. So this is what it looks like. Archer Australia, very good quality. This is what everybody runs. Anybody that's running a 2511T with a quarter pitch, this is the sprocket. There is another brand called Pearline, which I have bought because these were out of stock, because these are the most popular ones, and in my opinion, the best ones. The fitment is weird. It doesn't work as good as this one. I didn't like it. I couldn't get it to work for some reason. The fitment just wasn't right. So they make spur sprockets and rim sprockets. But if you have a 2511T and you do want to run the quarter pitch, this is what I recommend. They also make bars and chains. This is what it looks like. And they also do include a new needle cage bearing, which it is good. It's nice. I have ran them, but I just run the OEM if it's good. But yeah, this is what it is. Really good quality, in my opinion. Haven't had any issues thus far. And that's basically it. That's all that I needed. That was missing. So now hopefully tomorrow we can start working on the 2511T. I might just clean up some of the parts a little bit just because they're a little dusty from sitting in storage and in pieces, but most of you already know the story behind it. I've had this 2511T. I bought it brand new at the shop that I used to work at. I only cut with it 5, maybe 6 times. I wouldn't even say it has an hour and a half of runtime, maybe an hour, just to do some test cuts. Because when I first bought it, I already had the quarter pitch conversion that Ripsaw offers. So Ripsaw bar 12-inch, which is what I'll be running on this one. Well, that's confusing. I'll be running a 12-inch bar, but not the Ripsaw bar. I'll be running the Steel Rollomatic E-Mini. I've already modified it to be able to mount it onto the bar stud, or onto the bar guide, or whatever you want to call it, tensioner. So it's a brand new saw. I will be using the Donor's 2511 top end because it's still really good, in really good condition. I do have the original cylinder, which hasn't even been broken in yet. I mean, it wasn't even broken in. So I'm gonna just run this one, run it for a little bit, do some cuts, and then maybe I'll start messing around with the cylinder, do some porting, since I do have 2 crankshafts and 2 flywheel keys. Maybe, or well, not maybe. Eventually, once I get it all built, hopefully tomorrow and running, we'll mess around with some timing advances. Basically, 1 flywheel key we'll just see how far we can push it before things go wrong, and then have the other one as a backup, and then just do, you know, a normal-ish timing advance. And I have two of everything: carburetors, coils, or AKA the ignition module, flywheels. I mean, it's the only thing that's wrong with this Donor saw, this Donor 2511, is that it has a cracked casing on this side here, which is where the oil goes. But other than that, it's a good 2511T. I already have the chain, which is a 64. Yeah, 64 drive link chain. This is the mini quarter pitch, or as Steel calls it, quarter pico, which just means mini. And then there's also a regular quarter pitch. Anyways, which also too, Archer does make a quarter pitch chain, which is a non-safety chain, meaning it does not have that extra little raker hump. It's not a double, essentially like a double raker. It doesn't have that, and the cutter is a lot bigger. It's a normal quarter pitch. So eventually I'll get one of those chains to just do some comparisons, testing, check things out. Ray says, what do you do when customers don't collect their equipment? I've had an MS200T here for 2 months. So all you can do is let them know, hey, your stuff is still here. Um, you know, at the power equipment shop that I used to work at, just making sure no bugs are crawling out. So at the power equipment shop that I used to work at, in the invoice or the work order, there was a disclaimer. Any piece of equipment that isn't picked up within 30 days or 30 days after repair is, or I think it was just in general, 30 days is considered abandoned. Of course, we wouldn't get rid of it. We would do our due diligence to give the customer a call, say, hey, your stuff is still here. And if they weren't coming, it's abandoned. So at that point, either, you know, get rid of it or use it for parts. We did not sell any used equipment. So a lot of the times, if it was just junk equipment, we would just dispose of it. So take it to the dump or recycling. I don't even know where they took them. Or if it was something good, we would save it for parts. So that's kind of what I follow here at my shop. Um, Same thing if, if I put the work into it and the bill hasn't been paid, well, of course, they have to pay the bill before they pick it up. But I mean, it gets to the point where it's abandoned. I really do my best not to get rid of anything, but it's just at that point, um, you basically just have to keep trying to contact the customer and just say, hey, your stuff is here. What's going on with it? Do you want to fix it? Or if it is fixed, hey, you still have to pay the balance, your bill. And it just gets to the point where you have to say, hey, if you don't come pick it up by a certain day or a certain time, it's abandoned. Are you not coming? It's hard. It's tricky, you know. So, which has happened already. Um, Not very many times, but it's happened a couple times. Um, I mean, it sucks, because it's just tricky, But if you've already done everything you can to get them to come pick up their stuff, and they don't come pick it up, and it's just sitting, well, I mean, that's pretty much up to you what you do with it. As you guys know, I don't get rid of anything here. I like to hoard. I like to, you know, uh, and that's pretty much it. Ray says, trouble is I work from home, so I don't need any help. That's the thing. You could also, so we got Liam in the house. What up, my friend? Good to see you. Um, and then Dong Pao says charge for storage. You can charge them. You can do that. To as like an initiative to kind of come pick up their stuff. But I mean, it just gets to the point where, like I said, you kind of have to be firm. Hey, are you coming? Are you not coming? What's going on? If you don't come, then it's considered abandoned, and that's all you have to say. That's happened to me once. One particular time, a customer came and dropped off a few saws. They dropped off 3 Husqvarna saws, and I did the inspections. I wrote up the quote as far as like what they needed, and they're like, okay, yeah, like sounds good. I'll get back with you later. And weeks, months went by, nothing. I'm not a pushy person. Like if you tell me, hey, I'll get back to you in a few weeks or a couple weeks or whatever, I let it be. Um, but it just got to the point where again storage gets limited, especially where I was at before this. Storage was pretty limited, and then I reached out again. I said, hey man, so um, what's going on? Are we still moving forward? Like what's going on? Um, some time went by, and then they finally reached back out and said, yeah, I'm still planning on doing the repairs, but some stuff came up, which that's totally understandable too. Things come up, but it's just it got to the point where I had to say, hey, and uh, I don't like being firm, like I don't like potentially coming off as a dick, but I had to tell him, hey, look, Saws have been here for at this point 3 months. Uh, what's going on, man? Like, should I consider these abandoned? Like, are you not coming? What's going on? And then finally, once it got to that point where it's like, hey, then they came around. But a couple other times, you know, after I did the inspections and quoted them the price to fix it, which is parts and labor, they just never came and picked up their stuff. I never got rid of it because it's here. I can use it. I can fix it at the end of the day, especially if it's a good piece of equipment. Usually, like pro level, commercial level machines, it's worth it. But in my case, sometimes, even if it's a homeowner level piece of equipment, I can still make some money off of it or, profit or whatever the case may be. But that's just what it is. Stetson says, Big boy, do you love working? I do. I mean, do I love working? I like working, yes. And I work hard. Not so much right now in the shop because we're just hanging out, but yes. Do you love working? So, anyways, it's tricky. It is tricky though, especially yeah, working out of your house, which that's where I work out of as far as like my saw, the saw shop or the shop or whatever you want to call it. But you just have to be good at communicating with your customers, whether it's a customer, a friend, a buddy. You just gotta, kind of set your boundaries, kind of like tell them how it works. Communication is key, and it's also how you communicate the information too. Um, you know, but going about it that way, I've never ran into any problems. So um, you can't be afraid to tell them, hey, you need to do this, especially because it's just, I don't know. And I'm sorry if that was a really long explanation. Ray says, good advice. I will contact customer for the third time. Yeah, and it sucks having to be not aggressive, but it sucks to have to get to that level. Like, hey, you need to come get your stuff or else. But that'll make them know, like, hey, you're being serious. I mean that's just how it is. So, and if they still owe you money for the work, well, it's technically yours until they pay for it. And if they don't pay for it, well, they don't get their stuff back, obviously, or until they pay. Again, it's tricky. But if you've already been reaching out to them numerous times, um, the next time you call, if you have to leave them a voicemail or a text, just say, hey, look, I've been trying to contact you, and they probably know that. And hopefully they're okay. Hopefully they're not going through some crazy life stuff. But, you just got to tell them, hey, look, I've been trying to reach you. I don't know what's going on. Should I consider your equipment abandoned or whatever? and and hopefully that'll give them that push to at least reach back out and say, hey, you know what, life is going on right now. I can't pay, or I can't come pick it up, or something, then then you can go from there. But yeah, and I think anytime, you know, I would say moving forward, if you have an invoice system or if you have receipts, if you give your customers a receipt, just put a little disclaimer in there. You know, after so many days or so much time, you know, any equipment that isn't picked up or whatever, unless you're communicating or unless the customers are communicating with you, it's considered abandoned, and that usually helps. Ray says it's weird. The saw is worth about 300 pounds here in the UK as not AAA. Yeah, 200 T's, man. I mean, it just, I think some people really take advantage and they sell the saw, like the 200, they sell 200 T's for a ridiculous amount. Um, Sometimes as much as a new 201, but some people are willing to pay that price, you know, and maybe in different regions, you know, it's more or less popular. but but I would say if it's in good condition, cosmetic wise, it runs good. It is worth a good little penny for sure. But a lot of the times too, a lot of the times people don't really know the equipment that they have. You know, um, like sometimes they look at it as like, is it really even that good of a saw or weed eater or whatever it is? And you know, I always tell them straight up, like, oh yeah, it's a great piece of equipment, whatever, depending on what it is. You just got to be transparent. You got to just be upfront. And I just saw the box to the light bulbs that I have. They're not 400, they're 300 watt, but they are pushing like 4060 lumens. See, just bags of stuff that I just have tucked away and got to get more organized. Also, those light bulbs. So those are a brand called Feet or Fight, FEIT, Feet, I think it is. What's cool is that they have a little switch, so you can go between warm, neutral, like meaning not cool or warm, and then the cool, which is what they're on now. Same thing with the light up above here. Yeah, that's gross. A fork? What the fork? So yeah, see, this is all just like new stuff that I've bought for the shop, and This I've used for something, but it's still all brand new. It's a 33, or excuse me, 31 piece Dremel set. This one's a 52 piece Dremel set. This one I haven't used. So I'll keep this one out. This I bought for a hammer that I was working on, but I never ended up using it. It's just wood filler, but might come in handy for something else. Not to mention all the saws that I have in storage. It's like I always realize that I have a problem with buying and just hoarding stuff. Which I haven't been buying, well, I was just gonna say I haven't been really buying anything, but these bags say otherwise. I mean, this isn't stuff that I've bought in like super recent, but polishing compound that I haven't even opened. This is an easy lock system for Dremel wheels. Jeez. Cutting wheels. Which this is a nice system. It's an easy lock mandrel instead of like doing the whole little screw thing. This just like locks into place, which is nice, but I haven't used them. Polishing wheel, brand new. Finishing abrasive buffs. Who knows when I'll use that. Another abrasive brush. Sanding. And I don't mean to turn this into a look at all my stuff live stream. I got to go through this, man. Butane torch. This I was gonna use to do like a burnt finish on that the ball peen hammer that I was working on, but never did that. I just ended up sanding it down, staining it with a espresso color, which ended up being a little darker than I thought, but I still have to actually apply the polyurethane to it. Ball peen hammer. This I have used. Been wanting one for a long time. This is a 16 ounce. I got these at the hardware store that I work at. Good old Ace Hardware. This is an 8 ounce, a little bit smaller. Haven't used that. But like Gray says, you can never have too many tools. And I definitely believe that. Compartment storage boxes for whenever I start going through all my leftover hardware and spare hardware that I have from stuff that I've worked on and stuff that I've bought in. Little smaller box. Man. My girlfriend sometimes is like, you have too many tools. Why do you need more? Why do you buy so much tools? Or why do you buy so much? And it's like, well, maybe this is just a guy mentality, but my mentality is better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And especially the way prices are going up now every day, It's just, say I needed this hammer, or maybe I didn't need it, but I was in a position where I can buy it. Well, there's a good chance that later, when I do need this hammer and need to go buy it, it's going to be more expensive. Oh, speaking of the cylinder head for my personal for my 2511T, this is it right here. Look at that, floating around in a random bag where it could have been damaged. This top end is not even broken in. Doesn't even have an hour, maybe an hour of runtime, just for like little testing. But this I'm gonna see. I don't know. I gotta go through stuff, man. This is the latest thing that I've bought, digital calipers, which in my opinion, not something that I'm going to use every day, but this is a really good tool to have for a lot of different things. For instance, I want to figure out the diameter of this crankshaft or whatever. This will help me. Plus, also, too, it doesn't help working at a hardware store, getting a discount, because, well, that's part of the problem. Part of the what feeds the addiction. Feeler gauges, which these I only ever need if I'm working on like something that has valves, like a steel leaf blower or just other equipment which haven't needed to adjust any valves. But again, better to have it than need it and not have it. Where I'm Team Milwaukee, I also do like DeWalt, but these were just a good price. I already have all my Milwaukee stuff, but I should probably keep one of these out. Little magnet, telescopic. A screw doesn't want to come out, you just put it in there and extract it. These are really good. I'll keep this one out. This one out. Jeez, can't talk. Because that will definitely come in handy. Carbide burrs, square and pointed. Thankfully, it doesn't happen much, but if for some reason I need to extract a screw and make some new threads for 5/32 diameter, there it is. I feel like some stuff I can let go of, like resell it or just sell it because I don't need it. But then again, you never know. Center punch. See, just so much stuff, man. And I'm not saying it again, like, ooh, look at how much stuff I have, but it's like, maybe it'll help someone else out watching this live stream being like, hey, you know what, maybe I should go through my stuff because, it'll avoid buying something that I already have, or whatever, or losing it. This I'm actually going to take into the house. None of this stuff I really need right now. The digital calipers, I will need these soon. The hammers I'll keep out here. This Dremel kit I'm going to take back inside because I already have this Dremel kit here, and I haven't really been using the Dremel a whole lot these days. Take this torch. This I'll probably end up selling because I don't have any use for this. Unless I get into woodworking, then good old Ronson butane fuel. But I also do believe in selling whatever you know for a fact you're not going to use. You know, if you can make back at least some of your money back on something that you know you're not going to use, I'm all for that. But we all typically kind of know the stuff that we are going to need or use, even if it's sometimes. So these will stay in here. And I actually should bring out, I do have more pegboard pegs, so I can start hanging up more tools or just, you know, certain items like chains or like new chains and stuff. Just need to take the time to do it. Ray says, I've made a few special tools from broken ones I was going to throw away. See, that's cool. I have customers like that. They're like, well, I don't really know what I'm looking for, so I might just have to make it, or they can't find something, and then they make it themselves. So I still have a lot of pegboard space. So like maybe I'll make a section to hang my ball peen hammers, maybe on this side over here. That'd look kind of good. Bar and chain sections or pegs. So this one here is for bars 10 to 20 inches. Bars on one side, chains on the other side. These pegs up here is for bars and chains ranging from 25 to 36. So like if a saw comes in or whatever, I can, and then I just have random stuff hanging out. Still have that whole box of stuff, but I'm not going to put everything out here because, well, don't need it all to be. But for now, I have just the basics, or just the stuff that I use every time that I work on something. Although, like this side of the bench here, like this, I'm probably going to move. I'm thinking about moving because since I don't have a door, the sun hits this part of the bench here most of the day. So I don't want it to, well, for one, I don't want it to fade. And also too, I don't want to damage the battery, which I could just take the battery out, but I still don't want this to fade. As you can see, this box of gloves, it's already faded in color. I used to hold stuff here because it's a nice little like side shelf area, but the sun just hits all this side, all up until like up here. And that's why I started moving my mat, because I don't want it to get damaged. Because this mat right here is very special. I wanted one for a long time. only dealers get these shop mats or counter mats. Of course, obviously, I'm not a dealer. Um, I was hooked up by a buddy that was a mechanic at a dealer, and he gave me this mat. And believe it or not, so many people ask me, "Where do you get that mat? Where can I find it?" And as much as I would love to be able to help people get one, it's like it's kind of cool to be able to say, well, you can only get them at the dealers. Well, only dealers get them. Maybe if you have a cool dealer in your area, you can get one. But I got really lucky. And this is the older style. There is a new style, but they made the lettering look more modern. And either way, this one's awesome. So I now move it, so that way the sun doesn't damage it. I had all these parts sitting all like spread out, and then I put two and two together. I was like, you know what? I don't want the parts to fade. So that's the only downside, is that there's no door. That's not mine. That's my landlord's son's Jeep. But that's the only downfall. I mean, I could maybe put like a sunblock cloth or something, but either way, I don't want to risk it, so I just move the mat, and maybe this I can just move to that side. And I don't put anything here anymore. I mean, I have a couple of random little things, but things that are not gonna take to sun damage. Like good example. These boxes, these spark plugs, I had them sitting over here, and before I realized, these are all, you can't really tell, but they got super faded. That side, I mean, you can see how they look on that side, and you look at them here and they're just faded. This one's cool because it's an NGK spark plug, but it's Honda branded, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna save that as like a collector's piece. I know it sounds silly, but anyhoozle. Man, we got quite a few night owls. I know in some parts of the world it's not night, it's not nighttime, it's morning time. Like right now it's about to hit almost midnight California time, so technical morning in about 6 minutes. It's 11:55 here, 11:54. So we'll put this back. Prime example of why you should go through your stuff if you have a lot of stuff and it's not organized. Here's another 12-inch Rollomatic mini bar. This one's not modified, so this is like, it could be for 201, 194, 193, 151, and another chain, which is it's still in really good condition, has a lot of life. It's not rusted or anything like that. So this can go into onto the peg, like a little hook. This one's more of a hook. This bar I haven't even used yet. I actually did this one for, modified this one for a customer, but he ended up wanting the new Panther bars made by Sumara or Sumura. Although, out of the Panther bars, the Ripsaw bar, and the Archer bar, in my opinion, the steel, and it's not because I'm a steel fan, the steel bar, in my opinion, it is the better bar option. Durability, oiling, just better. But they all work good. I mean, the Archer bars I can't really actually say because I've never ran an Archer bar. The Panther bars, I personally haven't ran the Panther bar a lot. As far as I know right now, the customer who did want the Panther bar and I put a Panther bar on, it's still going good. He was really liking it. And the Ripsaw bar works good too. Durable. It's almost like the steel bar, but I don't know. I think the steel is still the better option. Ray says, always good to be organized in the shop. 100%. 100%. Couldn't agree more. I've ran into a lot of issues not being organized. Losing stuff. In all honesty, losing customer parts. Not a good look, man. And of course, I make it right, but it's like, not a good look. And then again, sometimes you buy stuff that you already have, or have multiples of. Ray also says, my neighbor is always borrowing my tools just because he can't find his. Yeah, see, it gets tricky. Definitely always good to be organized. It doesn't even matter where. It's always good to be organized, even if it's a mess. Organized messes are better than just having a mess. Like right now, the bench is a little messy right now, but it's mainly this stuff here. But still, it's still kind of a mess. But at least I know what I have here. This I need to take inside. God. See, like even more prime example. I forgot that I forgot that I bought this measuring cup. Like when I'm measuring out, like the oil to mix fuel, totally forgot. Light bulbs, brand new light bulbs, just hanging out in a box of stuff that I just bought not that long ago. That's what was originally. Well, the first lighting upgrade that I did was with these. I think these are the, what are these? think these are 100 watt or 200 watt. I think these are 200 watt light bulbs. Yo, we got Double O in the house. What up, man? A little late, but meaning like we're out here a little late. Just kind of hanging out, getting some fresh air, going through more stuff because I got a lot of stuff, man, and I got to get more organized. Anyways, hopefully you're doing good, man. Appreciate you being here for a little bit. I'll be here for another little bit. Ray says the Archer Australia stuff has no country of origin on the box, just Chinese, I think. Yeah, I think so too. But you know, as far as the sprockets, they're good quality. They hold up really well. They're just as good as OEM. Of course, OEM is the best, but for the quarter pitch conversions, they're really good. I do want to try out their chains. Their regular size quarter pitch, non-safety raker, opposed to the mini quarter pitch with, you know, it's a safety raker. It's got that double raker design. But the sprockets, definitely I can say they're good. I've used them quite a bit on customer builds, and everybody that runs the quarter pitch on their 2511s, they're running the Archer. Like for instance, Ripsaw, they offer a quarter pitch conversion kit, which comes with 2 chains, which is the steel chain. They call it, Steel calls it Pico. It's just their verbiage for mini quarter pitch. You get 2 chains. You don't get the worm gear. You get their 4-point dogs. It's a Buck and Billy Ray collaboration. You get their bar, and then the sprocket that they use is the Archer. Like I said, Proline also makes, there's a company called Proline that makes a quarter pitch sprocket for the 2511T, which I've ordered because the Archer was out of stock and I needed it for a build, and it wasn't it. It didn't fit right. The fitment wasn't right. It didn't work, and yeah. So these are brand new bulbs that I could use for something else. Some, you know, look, it's already got crap on it. It's not actual crap, but so again, these are 200 waters in this brand calls it bright white, which is just in between the cool and the warm, but I wanted to push it, and so I put in those 300 waters. I think these are 2,000, a little over 2,000 lumens each. Those new ones now, 300 watt and 4,060 lumens, just ridiculous. That light up there is 150 watt, I believe. 150 watt. I forget the lumens, but that shit is bright. And those are ridiculously bright. And then this little outlet socket, so that way I can like basically do something like this, which is what I was running originally, what I was gonna use. Damn, I don't like this 4 gang box. It's just too stiff. But basically what I was doing is I was gonna run this bulb here and have it, you know, for my workbench light, but that didn't really work. So I got that instead. but these we can use for something else later. Plus the tone is a little too warm for my liking. For this kind of setting, I like the cool. Double O says, "What time is it for you?" Shoot, man. Right now it is 12:07 here in good old Cali. Which I was only going to be out here for an hour. I've been out here since 11, a little bit past 11. I haven't really missed much. I've just been out here rambling, going through stuff. Also, too, the only real exciting stuff is that the last couple of parts for the 2511 project have come in. So all that I was missing was the quarter pitch sprocket and the worm gear to run the sprocket. This is an OEM. Because I don't know if you remember, so this is the original worm gear. This is for the Mini 325. This is what comes on the TN version of the 2511 that I had modified. I basically just shaved a couple of little teeth, which it works good, it works, but I'd rather just have this one here. So this is the worm gear that comes with the 2511T, which the only difference between the T and the TN is the chain pitch and sprocket. So the T comes with the 3/8 Low Pro or Mini 3/8, and this is the one that comes on TN, which is the version that I have, and this is for the Mini 325. So anyhow, and hopefully tomorrow, if all goes well, we'll be back tomorrow and start working on the 2511, get it all put back together. Good thing I went through all my crap, or most of it, tonight. This is the original cylinder off of my 2511. It has maybe an hour runtime. I'm gonna just leave this as a backup and use my donor 2511 top end because it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly good. Also dug up this 2511T crankcase, crankshaft, piston, basically the bottom end assembly. Has everything, flywheel key, seals. Some of you may remember this was actually a customer's, but I was essentially rushing and not paying attention, trying to get it done, and I went to remove the flywheel. This was before I had center punches, and I accidentally smashed the threads on this side, which I just have to clean them up, and then we'll have, this will be fine. Yeah, I know it's metric. I just need to figure out what pitch it is, thread pitch, which it might be a 125 or a 1. I think it might be a M12. It's a coarse thread, so, but yeah, everything is still good. Might clean up the piston a little bit, but it's not that bad. I mean, it is bad, but it did get a little toasty, but you can still see the arrow. And everything else is here. Part of tonight's goal was to open this headlamp up. It was a really good headlamp, but yesterday it stopped taking charge. So I don't know why, but I don't have a small enough screwdriver to get into those little holes. So that's gonna go on hold. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna just leave that here. These light bulbs, I think I still have the boxes for them. This adapter, I'm probably just gonna. So the first thing I'm gonna do tomorrow is take out the trash here in the shop because I have a little bit. I think for now maybe I can just fit these in here. Maybe not. Shit. Ooh. Telling you, I'm really pushing the limits on these circuits. Let me just leave those like this. I'm gonna take them inside. So yeah, this light up here is 150 watt, 2,605 lumens. The electrical is good. Can handle a lot. Clearly, got 150 watts there. Between those two, we got 600 watts push in there. High output lumens. Circuit box. Let's see, what does it say here? So this is rated for 12240. Mains are 100 amp max. Yeah, doing all right. I could plug in appliance or whatever this is here. Basically a heavy duty plug. More plugs here. But as you can see, they do flicker a little bit once they get warmed up. Let's see, Ray says it's a bit naughty having Australia on the boxes and it gives the wrong impression. Kind of. I really thought maybe it was made in Australia for some reason, but I mean, really? Well, it says right there, made in China. But yeah, it is a little, it is a little ballsy. Double O says I bought a MS 180 for small jobs. Small engines are cute, easy to find parts, and fix too. Dude, the 180s are solid little saws. My grandfather has an 018, and when I was working at the shop, you know, we're at the dealer, I took it there and I did a little service on it. And dude, that little saw is cool, man. Yeah, little saws are fun, for sure. I agree. Ooh. Let's see. Double O says, I use Scotch-Brite for cleaning, carbon, they make it for a Dremel. You know what? I was just going through some stuff. Man, those light bulbs are really surging now. They must be warm. This is the longest I've ran. I only run them for, I'm not really out here. Honestly, it's a little overkill because I'm not real. I don't ever really work out here all the time late at night. I like to get, if there's work to be done, I like to try to get it done, you know, early in the day. But I just got these because, well, sometimes we do hang out here, and sometimes I do want to just hang out in the shop, but I'm not usually out here for more than an hour. But once they get warm or hot, they start kind of flickering. But like I said, I'm kind of pushing the limits on those outlets or on those sockets. But yeah, I was going through some stuff. Actually, they're right here, and I think I may have some of those abrasive things. Let's see. Oh yeah, here they are. They're um, they're abrasive buffs. These are for finishing. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Like these little things. I've never used them. It was an impulse buy. That's just part of the struggle of working at a hardware store and getting a little employee discount. You just buy stuff, man. But like Ray and I have been saying, well, he was the first one to say it. You can't have enough tools. You can never have enough tools in the shop unless it's an unorganized mess like mine is right now. Other than the main tools that I use on the bench, those are all organized. They're all they're all in order. But this side of the bench is looking a little rough right now. Let's see. Ray says your girlfriend's gonna wonder where you are. So the thing is, yeah. Well, we actually don't live together right now. I have my own place, and she has her own place with her sister. They actually own their house. I just rent here. I'm essentially just, I rent the house, and then I'm essentially renting it for the shop space too. Um, but no, yeah, she probably would be like, well, she would know exactly where I'm at, but she'd be like, why the hell are you out there so late? But she knows I'm a night owl. Double O says, yeah, but I use Chinese ones. It works flawlessly. Parts get shiny fast. Hey, man, and that's the thing. Nothing really against China for certain things, man. Like if it works good, especially, that's all that matters. I'm gonna have to mess around with those. I might actually you know, try those on here and see how they do. Maybe hit them with a little super clean. Hit it with a little super clean in the brush. Yeah, this piston got a little toasty. Still has the machine marks though. Still has. So it's not a super high hour saw, but definitely not a low hour. But it could just be from getting hot. The rings are still good. Might be able to clean that up a little bit. We'll have to give it a test run or a test. All right, so this is all going inside the house. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I think I've cleared my mind enough. I'm not gonna go to sleep. I'm just gonna go back inside now and just hang out, do a little posting, and just ride out the night. But if all goes well, I'll be out here tomorrow. Finally working on the 2511T. It's all ready to go. Just give it a little cleaning. It's just dirty from being out here in storage and whatnot, but it's brand new. I've only had this saw for a year, and it's been in pieces for a year too. I'm so glad I bought this saw because you know what? They're great little saws, especially once you start opening them up. Put a muffler on there, and you know, especially after porting, you do a good port job on there, and maybe a little timing advance. Run a quarter pitch chain, they zip. So just give it a little clean. We'll hit it with a little crocodile wipe. Doesn't need much. I only cut a few times with the saw, but it's brand new, essentially brand new. The engine wasn't even broken in. Everything is new. This is the original. I'm gonna leave this as a just as a spare. Maybe clean it up a little bit. It's not even dirty though. Really. We'll be running the donor's top end, and then once I get it all put together and dialed in, um, then I'll basically take it back, take it apart again, and start messing with the timing a little bit, see how far we can take it, since I have that spare flywheel key. Um, do some porting maybe on it. No, for sure do some porting on it. Um, just go from there. You know, I need to pull it out of the part bin, but I'm gonna be running Egan's pipe on this one. On mine, I like it. Opposed to the West Coast, nothing against the West Coast muffler. It's a really nice muffler. It definitely opens it up some, gives it a little more zip. But me personally, I like Egan's products. I think when it comes down to performance, Egan's mufflers and pipes really have the upper hand on performance, which at the end of the day, that's what it's all about for me. I mean, looks is nice too. Gordy, he makes really nice looking products, like the bark boxes, the mufflers, clutch covers, the dogs. I mean, he makes some really nice looking products, but when it comes down to mufflers and performance, um, Egan all the way for me. That dude can make a saw rip. But there's a lot of people that can make saws rip. You know, Egan, Jason Egan, of course, the man Aaron Lynch. There's Red Beer Saws, Nick, and a few others. You know, um, but but yeah. So if all goes well, we'll be out here tomorrow, a little earlier tomorrow, and just go from there. Just take our time. We'll see if I still know how to put this thing back together, because it's actually been a while since I've worked on a 2511. The last 2511 that I worked on was last year in October, end of September, October. So we'll see if I still know how to put one of these back together. But either way, as always, take our time, you know, have a good time doing it. Hopefully we'll have some folks here. I'm surprised we have people right now. But then again, night owls, in some parts of the world it's morning time. It's a whole new day. But anyways, guys, that's it for now. Much love to everybody that was here. I'm gonna get my butt back inside and go from there. So yeah, but I use let's see. Ray says a little piece of Scotch-Brite soaked in fuel is great for carbon cleaning. Yeah, we'll have to tackle it. We'll tackle it. We'll try maybe one of those abrasive buffs, or we'll just go with the Scotch-Brite soaked in fuel. I think that'll be a good option. I think both options will work really good. But we'll just try some stuff. But anyways, guys, much love to everybody. For those of you that are starting your day, hope you guys have a good day today. For those of us that are ending the night, hope you guys have a good evening. See you guys hopefully tomorrow. Ray, I'm glad you were able to catch a live stream, because I know the timing is a little different. You know, you're a whole day ahead essentially over there in the UK. Double O, it's good to see you, man. We also had Grant in the house. Everybody else is normal and sleeping. So much love to everybody. Catch you on the next one. And yeah, that's it.